In this video, I'm going to look at chatbase.co, chatbase.co. Chatbase.co is a platform that allows you to create an AI agent and deploy them as well. Now, typical use case that they have mentioned is customer experience and customer support. So I'm going to look at their website and also try out their product, and let's see how that goes. So here I am on their website, chatbase.co. This is their landing page, and you can see the headline here, AI agents for magical customer experiences. And then on the right hand side, they have a short video playing in loop. Now I think they are trying to show here that you can add sources like a guide in PDF. You can have some AI actions as well. And then you can ask a question, I want to upgrade, and the AI agent does it for you. This is a concept where we are seeing nowadays that AI agents are becoming very popular. And one of the core use cases that AI agents seem to be tackling is customer support and how users can chat with this AI agent and get their relevant actions done or get the answers to their questions. Now, chatbot is not a new concept at all. Chatbots have been existing in many different products, and there are companies building chatbots as well. But one of the things that AI agents might be able to do much better is the way it can gather the context, not just from what you provide as data, but also from these large language models that are already built on existing data sets. So in that sense, it would make it much more comprehensive, let's say, and powerful in responding to customers' questions. You can see the website, the landing page, by the way, is quite well designed just from the first section of it. And they have mentioned Chatbase is the complete platform for building and deploying AI agents for your business to handle customer support and drive more revenue. Okay. And they have an option here to build your agent right away. They also mentioned that the credit card is not required. This is very important to mention to the users, because if your sign up experience requires a credit card to be given as a form of assurance, you don't want to spook away the customers. They have included some social proof like trusted by 9,000 businesses worldwide. And also I think they have got quite big names under their belt. So I'm not sure how new this company is. I couldn't find information on that. But it seems like an interesting one. I found this chatbase.co on Product Hunt. It was number 2 on the day of its launch. So seems to have gained a lot of traction in that sense. So they have highlighted here what this support agents could do, I think. And they have purpose built for LLMs, designed for simplicity, engineered for security. All right. And then they have how it works. So here they explain step by step. So number 1 is build and deploy your agent. Okay, so you can train your agent on business data and configure the actions. All right. And then agent solves your customers' problems. It can also take action. So that's an interesting one. I don't think I can try out this action thing, but let's see how far we can go in this experiment. Refine and optimize. You could probably retrain your data and then route complex issues to human and review analytics and insights. All right, I think the first 2-3 steps are the most important in this case. I like how they have got a very neat design. It's clean and minimal, but also conveys information that it needs to. So that's interesting here. So now they talk about features, okay? Sync with real-time data, take actions on your systems, compare AI models, smart escalation. We can try all these features out. Let's see how much we can really try. Before we can try anything, I would like to see if they have any free pricing plan. When I click on pricing, I get to see they have several plans. This seems to be on a very higher side in terms of per month. So even if it's hobby, it's $40 per month. And it is $150 for standard. Since the use case of this is in a company setup, the pricing makes sense. It is not for personal use, and it doesn't make sense to have that kind of a plan either. So I think in that case, they may have got a good pricing plan here. I'm interested in the free one, at least to see how much I can really test it out. So I can have one team member, one AI agent, and I could do 400 KB per AI agent. So that's really less data. If you only have text, it makes sense. If you have images as your training data, then I don't know if it will work. But I guess just to get started, it makes sense to at least try that much. Now, this is an interesting thing I see as I scroll down. So they have something like auto recharge credits, extra message credits. So these are like the add-ons that you could do. So there could be a use case where you want just one AI agent, and so you don't need their highest plan, but you are running out of credits and you do not have a lot of traffic either on your websites. So you may not have that much usage. So this kind of pricing makes sense when you want to increase your usage and just keep adding on. It's like topping up how you do it on your talk time on your SIM card. So that's a really good way of doing this. I'm noticing this as I'm exploring new products all the time. I'm noticing this kind of pricing plan coming back in trend, where you're able to buy small packages of whatever you need to add on, and that's like a value add that you go on top of it. Sometimes it's one time payment, sometimes it's also recurring, but I find that if it's one time payment, it's much more interesting. And this kind of pricing plan gives a lot more flexibility than to have a very expensive plan and not use all the features in it. In order to provide such a interesting and comprehensive pricing model, you need to experiment. Also, you need to understand your user really well. What kind of users are going to use your platform, and what kind of use cases are they going to have? If they're going to need multiple AI agents and lots of messages, which means you're probably targeting big companies, in that case you don't really need these kind of small add-on plans. However, you are targeting, let's say, entrepreneurs which are having small businesses. In that case, their users are not going to ask too many questions, so their usage is going to be relatively low. So they also should find this plan a little bit more affordable and justifiable. All right, so I think the pricing plan is interesting. I had already signed up for this website. I'm just going to go ahead and check their dashboard. So this is their dashboard, by the way. And here what I can see is I can have AI agents, which is the most minimal thing I've ever seen. There is on the screen, I don't see anything else. I have this new AI agent, and then there is some help thing. Also, I can annotate. I'm not sure what this will do, but I'm not going to touch that for now. Let's go and check what this new AI agent can do. So if I click on new AI agent, okay, in order to create an agent, I believe we have to give this as sources. One of the things I find missing in this flow is the way you guide the user. So for example, when I clicked on AI agent, it could have given me like a 1 or 2 liner explainer or a graphic that tells me that once you select this, you can add sources. So continue that journey for the user when it is a first time user. If you're a second time user, you don't really need that. So that is only relevant for first time users. So I wish they had something like that in order to explain it to me. But now I'm on this page. What I can do is I can either add text, I can link a website. So it will go to the website and fetch the information. I can also add question and answers. So if I understand AI agents correctly, what you need to do is feed in the sources. It will train on the data that you have provided, and then it will be useful as an agent. So this sounds like a relatively simplified version of it. You can add text, files, links to the websites. So for this experiment, I'm going to try text-based and Q&A. So let's try two of those features. I'm not trying the file. I have a feeling because of the size that they have mentioned, I won't be able to upload anything that is less than 400 KB. So I'm going to try the text and Q&A version, and then let's see what happens. So if I click on text, I just go ahead and copy the text, I guess. Now, here's what I did for this experiment. I went to ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT to generate a one-page document on return and exchange policy. Now, I'm thinking of a use case where imagine you are a brand called Bagwati. So I'm just naming it randomly, and you're selling handbags, and your website has returns and exchange policy. Say you have a user coming to the website, they open that chat and then they ask, can I return this product within 30 days or not? Instead of having the chat routed to the human being, you could use a tool like this, and the AI agent will take care of the responses to the user. I think that's a nice use case. If you train the AI agent enough and keep retraining it, I feel they have that feature. It could be very useful for your users. So this is what I got from ChatGPT as the data set. So what I'm going to do is take this text as it is and then copy paste. So let's add this here. Now this is just 2 KB. Because it is text, I think we might be able to get away with the size limit that they have here. The next thing that they have as a feature to add as a source is Q&A. Again, I use ChatGPT for this, and I've got some question answers here. What we can do is, let's say, take some of the important questions and then copy paste them here. So I think I can add here. This is a question. Okay. I don't think I need the numbering, so I'm going to delete that. And let's also paste the answer. Now this is serving as my source of data. So this is something the brands have to fill in. The source is new and hasn't been trained yet, okay? Let's add another question. Let's say I want to have a question about sizes. So they could be asking something about sizes. And if that's the case, I want them to have this answer. Let's add that. Let's add another question on, do you ship internationally? I feel this is very important question in an e-commerce website. So let's do that. So I'll add 2 more questions here. All right, so I'm done. I copied and pasted all the questions here, which are about 5 questions. So this is very nicely designed product because when I add the sources, I can see the sources on the right hand side here. So we have sources and then they have text for 2 KB and then we have 5 Q&A for 982 bytes and the total size is 3 KB out of 400 KB. So that is just my training data. I understand this is a very limited set of data. And since I'm trying this product out, I think this should be okay. So let's go ahead and create an agent. It says training in progress and it shows me a progress bar as well. That's done. Nice. And I can see this is my playground. So I believe this is how the chat experience will be like. So what can I help you with? So let's assume a user who has bought a bag about 20 days back and now wants to know whether they can return the bag or exchange the bag. So this is a typical question on returns, on how to return and can I even return this bag or not? So let's start with, I bought a bag 20 days back. Can I still return it? So it says, yes, you can return since it's within the 30-day return window. And if you want to check this against the source, they do have an option to show the source. Just for our knowledge, when I copy pasted this answer, you would want to see that you may return within 30 days of the purchase. So it is taking correctly from the source data. I can copy this answer, I can upvote it, downvote it. Okay, I can like or dislike basically. And let's say, how do I return? Correct. So to initiate a return, please follow these steps and do this. Now this will work as long as your training data set is sufficient enough. If it does not have information, I believe the chatbot is going to throw some random answers. So let's say, what can you tell me about Nike? So this is not there as a training data set at all. So I'm expecting an answer which is, I do not know. So let's see what it does. So it is returning a very generic answer. So that's interesting. We got a glimpse of how it works. Let's check what they have at the top here. If I go to activity, I can see all the chat logs. This is very good for someone who wants to monitor their AI agent. They also provide analytics, which is of course behind a paywall. So if you get a paid plan, I guess you get to see analytics as well. You can see your sources and you can modify your sources if you like. So let's say if I want to do a return policy in 60 days, if I want to edit any sources, it has to retrain the agent. So let's try retrain agent. Done. And when you come back to the playground, let's say, can I return product after 90 days? Now this is a very different type of question, but it should be able to answer correctly. Unfortunately, you cannot return a product after 90 days. At Bagwati, we accept returns within 60 days of purchase for a full refund. Yeah, I think this is quite interesting. So you can change your data set and it will retrain, in the sense it will update the information that it has and then it will give relevant responses. Next, they have actions. I cannot even see because they have it behind paywall. So I'm going to skip that. Contacts, I have no idea what it does. So skip that. And then I could connect this. So my agent is currently private. To share the agent, I could make it public. They also offer integrations, which is interesting, which is also again behind paywall. So I cannot use this feature. And here we have some settings. So I can see that there is a name of the agent. I can delete conversations. I can delete an agent, and I can probably also choose the model. Of course, this is working on certain models, and what you would like to do in a real setup is try different models out. If you create an AI agent and if you want to test out whether that is relevant or not, monitor these insights and analytics and then try different models out. It is possible that sometimes answering a question might be better off in a different model. So let's see, if I make this public, what would happen just for trial. And I would get a chat bubble. Okay, so this is the UI. I need to insert this script in my website and then it will pop up there. And the other one is I can do an iframe directly. So these are pretty easy ways to integrate with your website. All right, so I'm back to my dashboard here. I can see there are two more tabs, which is usage and settings. So in the usage, I can see for all agents what is happening, how many times it has been used. And I feel this is very, very important. Not just usage, you also need to check the chat history for each of these agents and monitor it constantly. And then we have settings where you can go and check your team settings and probably billing and pricing, etc. Now, obviously, I did not try all the features that Chatbase.co has to offer, but I also believe that AI agents is getting easier to build. And it's not about just the building part, which is the easy part, I would say. I think it is more about the relevance of the responses. If you're a company selling products online, you have your own e-commerce website, there is no reason to not have any support agent on your website. Currently, that is fulfilled by humans behind the screens. Somebody is going to respond to that. You could also have chatbots, but having an AI-powered chatbot or AI agent is going to make it much more relevant. However, I do believe that when you're doing this training data sets and feeding in the sources, you have to constantly monitor the responses that you get and also play around with the AI models that are used in the background. Another tip that I would give you for AI agent building is try it internally as much as possible. Just deploy it on a local site or a staging site and test it out internally. Let your team interact with this chatbot and see if the responses are relevant before you make it public to your customers. Because a huge risk here is it can give an incorrect data. AI models are known to hallucinate and it can give you incorrect or factually wrong data, which can actually damage your business than giving you more business. So be careful about that. Chatbase was an interesting product. I liked experimenting with it. I also like the way they have designed their product. You should check it out, and thanks for watching this video.